pertaining to whatever you have students you are teaching are able to assimilate or are even comfortable with this method of teaching. I think we're even going too far. But however, we have a very interesting topic to bring to your screen this morning, or to bring to you this morning, being that we are still celebrating the Abbas and the Education Fellowship Week. We are still here celebrating with them their 46th and 48th anniversary week, respectively. So we'll bring to your screen a topic centered on evaluation and assessment. Evaluation and assessment. That is our topic this morning. Before we dive straight into that particular topic, let us first of all take a cup of cold water because it's already getting tense. We'll be right back shortly.
I'm right in here, sublimed in great dismay, drowning in tears and fear. I stink of sin. Engulfed in grief, I stood in that dock, surrounded by the wizards on my left and the seraphs on my right, with Satan sitting behind the gavel. He held millions of records about my illicit. The demon smiled as tears rolled down my cheeks, for they clearly knew my disdain is come. But wait! In came a fluorescence so illuminous that the demon smiling suddenly jumped in fright. And the man that walked in that night was none other but Leader Olumba Obu. He took the sentence violence and erased my name. He set the judge's records against me ablaze, looked me in the eyes and said, "Son, I'll take the blame." Handcuffs were placed on this man. He was thrown to the ground. A man that walked in glowing had now become dark. I did all that to him. Over 2,000 years, vast expanse of time and space. His profound love is rooted deep. A feeling that words fail to trace. A steadfast anchor strengthening me from fear to faith. Uchino praises with overflowing joy in his heart. Anibe sings adoration to your holy name, which is why I speak volumes. True words for our hearts races to the rhythm of ceaseless gratitude. 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, 24 hours in a day, 7 days in a week, 4 weeks in a month, and 12 months in each passing year. Ete Obu show us from deaths like me, pearly diamonds, ruby silver, and emerald gold. Indeed, there's nothing in existence that can separate me from the love of God. Not even the height of the hydrosphere, not the width of the lithosphere. Nothing can separate me from the love of God.
We welcome you all with sweet melodies. I am 144,000 Virgin Sister Ifulaya Christabel Ezenova. With me here is my organist, Divine Vanguard, Brother Roland Amadi. Listen and be blessed. As the darkness passes to a glorious morning, go with us everywhere. It's a preacher
BCS music.
When you're far away from home and your candlelight is low, stars will see you through, for you are not alone. You've lost the way to go, it's not the end of the road. Lights will guide you home, I'll always stand by you, and I will be your friend. When the road is rough and cold, you'll never walk alone in this evil world of sin. And I will lead the way and ignite your candle flames. Stars will guide you home, I'll always stand by you. So don't forget the road that leads you home. Don't forget there is a candle you hold. Stars will guide you home, they will guide you home. I'll always stand by you. Don't forget, the Lord is your stronghold. He's your anchor when your candle is low. Stars will guide you home, I'll always stand by you. In this journey of life, my words should guide your heart. Come rain or sunshine, I'll always stand by you. In the registry of life, we must go through pain for gain. Stars will guide you home, I'll always stand by you, and I will be your friend. When the road is rough and cold, you'll never walk alone in this evil world of sin. I will lead the way and ignite a candle flames. Stars will guide you home, I'll always stand by you. So don't forget, so don't forget the road that leads you home. And don't forget there is a candle you hold. The stars will guide you home. Yeah, I'll always stand by you. So don't forget, the Lord is your stronghold. He's your anchor when your candle is low. Stars will guide you home, I'll always stand by you.
When darkness falls and fears arise, oh, do not forget the Lord is your greatest might. He said, I will walk beside you through the tears and the battle. Also the stars will guide you home to a place of refuge. As you toil, legion surrounds you. As you sleep, my words protect you. As you wake, my light leads the way. You are not alone. Shine my name in the dark. You see my wonders and might in your life. I will always be beside you, hand in hand, I'll never leave your pride. Stars will guide you home, stars will guide you home, stars will guide you home. So do not forget, do not forget, you are not alone. Don't forget, you are not alone. Stars will guide you, I'll always stand by you. Don't forget, the Lord is your stronghold.
guide you home. I'll always stand by
I
you.
will always stand by you.
BCS music.
When you're far away from home and your candlelight is low, stars will see you through, for you are not alone. You've lost the way to go, it's not the end of the road. Lights will guide you home, I'll always stand by you. And I will be your friend when the road is rough and cold. You'll never walk alone in this evil world of sin. And I will lead the way and ignite your candle flames. Stars will guide you home, I'll always stand by you. So don't forget the road that leads you home. Don't forget there is a candle you hold. Stars will guide you home, they will guide you home. I'll always stand by you. Don't forget, the Lord is your stronghold. He's your anchor when your candle is low. Stars will guide you home, I'll always stand by you. In this journey of life, my words should guide your heart. Come rain or sunshine, I'll always stand by you. In the registry of life, we must go through pain for gain. Stars will guide you home, I'll always stand by you. And I will be your friend when the road is rough and cold. You'll never walk alone in this evil world of sin. I will lead the way and ignite a candle flames.
Welcome back. It is still the Morning Star Breakfast show on Star Cross Television, and I remain Stella Tabot, one of your hosts for today's edition. I'm still here with Brother Odudu Charles and Brother David Eric. Good morning and welcome back.
Thank you so much. Good morning.
Okay,
again.
so we are still talking on our topic this morning, which is centered on evaluation and assessment. You want to ask why evaluation and assessment? Don't forget, we are still in the week of Abbas Fellowship and Education Fellowship week-long anniversary week with the Holy Father, and we thought it wise to bring something out of the box, something most students feel it is not really necessary, just like Bro Odudu said, or was it Bro Odudu? Okay, most students, they'll feel like, why exams? Is it really necessary? You taught me this, so you should just say, okay, I believe you understand all what you were taught from the first day of this semester or first day of this term.
Lack of trust.
You see? Most of the time, they feel like it is lack of trust that makes lecturers or teachers to give students examination. So, but what actually is the essence of examination? What actually is the essence of assessment? You know, you taught me, and you should just say, okay, I believe you understand all what you've been taught. So just move to the next class. Okay, I don't know if I'm speaking the minds of any student out there who probably might be watching this program at this moment, but that is why we are bringing to your screen assessment and evaluation. Let's see how this helps, or this makes or masks students' capabilities. Let's see how the approaches we use as teachers, let's see how our methods of assessing students makes or masks their capabilities. That is why we're going to also bring to your screen a renowned resource person who is also going to speak based on what should I say, based on experience You're also going to hear from him. Let's also hear what he has to say as a parent, as a teacher, as someone who has tutored his children, as someone who has also tutored other people. Let's hear what he also has to tell us as regards this topic, assessment and evaluation. This person is no other than Christ Ambassador Eno Ikwen. Peace of the Father, Christ Ambassador. If you can hear us, we can hear you as well. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Sister Stella. Good morning, Bro Dudu. And good morning, Brother Eric.
Good morning to you,
Thank
Ambassador.
you for this.
Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
When you were introducing me, a renowned resource person, I'm like, oh, that this kingdom knows how to promote us.
We thank the Father. The Father knows how to do his things. Okay, at this point in time, we will be talking on assessment and evaluation. There are different types of assessment. There are different purposes of assessment and evaluation. There are methods of assessment, and there are also challenges and limitations when it comes to assessing students. The way we, as just like we talked about it earlier on, before you came online, we talked about some methods where lecturers will use. Students are always scared to even attend classes because of the methods most teachers or lecturers use to teach their students, and because of that they find it very difficult to even assimilate the least thing they teach their students. So that is why we're bringing up this topic this morning, for us to see how we can talk about the do's and the don'ts, the challenges, and how we can also provide solutions to most of these challenges if possible. So that's why we have here with us Brother Christ Ambassador Eno Ikwen. Yes, he is a renowned speaker. He is a renowned and an experienced teacher. So, Christ Ambassador, what do you have to tell us about this particular topic, assessment and evaluation?
In the blood of our Lord Jesus Christ, now and forevermore. First of all, we thank our most holy Father, who is the custodian of all knowledge, all wisdom, and all understanding. And we also want to congratulate the Abbas and Education Fellowship for their anniversary week celebration. Last week, we just finished with men. It was superb. It was explosive, especially when we had the moment with the women, where we asked the sisters in the International Women Fellowship to tell the men what we've not done right as husbands, as fathers. And it was quite interesting. That was on Monday of that week. That's the evening of the flag off. And then on the grand finale, we also have a moment where we discuss fatherhood, especially as their role in peace building in homes. It was also quite interesting. So I believe that the week we are into will be also explosive. The content, I believe, will be very strong enough to redirect us just to fall in line with the topic that you're discussing, assessment and evaluation. Well, educationally, the word education itself comes from the word educere, or some people say educere. It means from within. It means that nobody teaches you from the outside. Education is something that you are born with. For me, I always tell those who care to listen, because a lot of our world, we don't really believe, especially this generation, most people don't believe in reincarnation. You see, there is no child that is born a tabula rasa. Like no child is born blank. Every child is still having the imprint in his past life, all of the experiences he had made in the past life. And that's why once a child in his former life, a human being in his former life masters a certain art, the moment you expose them to that art, they become what we call genius. It's because they've already mastered it in their previous life. Because there is no how you can explain how a 5-year-old can play a piano better than an expert who has been in the field, for 35 years. There's something about it. It's just the fact that there is an imprint that child carries in his former life. Perhaps he was, a music star, maybe a Mozart, or all of these wonderful, music players who have played music in their past life. So the moment the parents, that's why it's very good, because the home is the first university. The home is the first educational institution. The parents have a role to play to understand the gift their children carry. that gift is nothing special other than what they have mastered in their previous life, which is still printed in their souls. So when they are born into the new life, once they are exposed to that field, the children master it, they play it because it is what they are already used to. So that's why in a lifetime that we find ourselves now, you must try to master a field. Then pray that in your next life, you have a parent that will figure out your gifting and channel your energy to that field. And once you get to that field, you become a genius and you can prosper without having to go through the four walls of the classroom anymore. That's why you see some children at age 10, they're not interested in school because what they already know, you can't teach them. So that's why we have geniuses. Some of them drop out of universities and say, oh, this person, Bill Gates, dropped out of university. It's because they already figured out what they were used to doing. You know, perhaps an engineer, you're already exposed. So the system we have in the world today is not properly, properly set. For instance, you cannot send fish, send snake, send elephant, send lion, send snail, send tortoise, all of them into one classroom and expect that, and say, okay, let's do a race, and expect that tortoise will beat the lion or cheetah, for instance. You know, so, but that's what we do. That's what our educational system does. Or you say, okay, fish, come and join in the race. I'll climb a tree. Of course, you know, monkey will always win. So everybody has their own peculiar gifting, peculiar inborn traits that they've already mastered and have come into the life. So the educational system we have now is quite faulty because it does not encourage us, you know, to train people individually based on their talent. Everybody is sent into the classroom, they teach all of us the same thing, and then they expect you to write the exam and pass. A child who may not be interested in certain, maybe academically, might not be interested in mathematics. He's forced to do mathematics. The one who is not interested in science is forced into science, maybe because the parents want him to be a doctor. And then he gets into the class, he's like a fish that has been brought out from water and put on land to run alongside lion. So, but if he's inside water, he performs amazingly well. So that's why it's important parents figure out first what their children they have. Unfortunately, in the West, like in Japan, for instance, they don't write exams until a certain age. The first age, children don't write exams, you just learn. Everybody is put in class, you just learn, you get to a point where everybody figures out their giftings. And then there is a variety of arrangement that is put in place for every child to master. If you love music, every child is exposed to music. Perhaps they send all of the children in the class to a music hall and see how they fall in love with those instruments. Whatever you love to do and you can do it easily, of course, they've already figured out what you're good at. If they send into a scientific lab, of course, you see some children who are not scientific inclined will begin to hate chemicals. Of course, you know that one is not there. The ones that love it, you see how they play with it. Same with paintings. You see how they expose their kids to paints. They don't care whether they are dirty or not. They just put them there, mingle with paints, and the children love it. Once a child begins to constantly develop this affection for a particular field, you leave them there. So they now begin to choose what they want to become and the area they want to go. And then there's an array of courses and trainings that any child can delve into. But that's not here. We don't have them here because that's why you see us struggle. And most times we finish university, we're not interested in whatever we studied. We go, somebody who's studying mathematics, you end up selling maybe something or selling phones. Or someone who has been a good scientist, you know, just ended up doing something else entirely because we are not exposed to these varieties of how to discover ourselves. So that's the challenge we have. Now, the assessment is basically to make tests, an arrangement that kind of helps us to figure out our strength, while evaluation is basically the judgment itself. If a child is good at mathematics, is good at this, that's assessment. You set up a test for them. And then when they finish, you now begin to judge them. So this is a judgmental system that does not encourage accurate learning. So as much as we can, I think, thank the Father that we have a school of our own. I think we should be able, our BAS and the Education Fellowship should be able to set up and find out a curriculum that will help us develop our BCS young children better, you know, and figure out their strength and find out advanced educational systems. You can adopt that of Chinese, you can adopt that of Japan, you can adopt that of Korea, especially these Asian countries that are doing so well. Figure out what it is and see how we can apply them, you know, with what the Father has taught us. We shouldn't just focus on education because a lot of these children have their own special gift and their spiritual calling. So once you add them together, we can come up with something and begin to build. Because, like I always say, brotherhood is a government of its own. It's just a matter of time. In the next 100, 200 years, we would have expanded and exploded to a point where we'll begin to be a government of our own and run our own systems. And because without that, we cannot influence the world. If we join the world to do what the world is used to doing, we can't get a result unless we go back to our own foundation and figure out what is best for us. And then we groom our young people, groom our Sabbath to grow up to become this change agent that will in turn influence the world. Thank you very much.
Okay, Christ Ambassador Enoikwen, I don't know if you can still hear us. We have very interesting questions for you, and one of that question, it is very practical, like very relatable, where students feel very anxious when it comes to do with tests, assessment. When they just hear, okay, tomorrow is test, you see this feeling of anxiety in them. They feel like, should I even come to school tomorrow? What's really the essence of this test? Now, with all of these things you have said, my question is, what are some strategies for reducing test anxiety and stress related to assessment? I don't know, Christ Ambassador, if you can hear us, if you're still with us. Okay, maybe he is having a network glitch from his end. When he joins us back, we'll still throw that question at him. But for now, let me also throw this question at us. Now, there are times when, in fact, it is very relatable to, if we have to tell ourselves the truth, there are times when we feel like, is this test even necessary? In most courses where we feel like this lecturer, there are times when we even go ahead to dislike some of these lecturers, and then there's this saying that if you dislike a lecturer, you automatically dislike that course. You cannot like me when you cannot like my father when you don't like me.
Prayer that Lord Jesus Christ said, Father, if it is possible,
let this
cup pass away from me.
Exactly. I feel like every Nigerian student has that anxiety, that just, even if it's very small, it is always there. There are times when you feel like, do I even need to go for this class? Do I even need to write this test? Is this course even necessary? So in that situation, as a student, Brother Odudu, what do you think should be some of these strategies that educators or teachers should put in place to make sure they relieve us of this anxiety we feel most times when we hear test or examination? What should be those strategies?
Yes, first you made mention of a lecturer being influential in your school, your school of qualification. Good. Modalities to carry students along is to free yourself as a lecturer. Okay. For instance, Stella Tabot, you're a lecturer of English, pure English, for instance. And then when you are coming, you're always keeping a hard face. You're always being very strict. You're always going to the point. There's tendency for anxiety that students will say, this test, this is my setting this test today after he has taught, and I was unable to dilute what he has taught us. You understand? I cannot flow. So many students are going out of 100%. Like 50% as speaking one language, they are unable to dilute it. How am I going to do? At that moment, they are unstable. That test may not be very hard, but the way and manner you have propelled them to understand that you are the lecturer of this, you are the God in this particular course, they will be unable. They will not be able to pass that course because them looking at your course, C222. Course code, this. They are seeing you.
The fear of the course.
Is your face they are seeing on that examination paper or the test paper.
Okay,
anything they are going to write may not be correct because they have seen you there.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we have Brother Enoikwen back here with us. Christ Ambassador, can you hear us clearly? Ambassador, can you hear us clearly? Christ Ambassador Enoy, can you hear us clearly? If you can hear us, we have very beautiful questions for you this morning. Okay, while he tries to link back again, so you were still on course, but
so I think those are the things that make students, I love using children, make students they are not always stable, they are uncomfortable because they will not be they are terrified, they will not be able to give back what they have been taught, because the way manner and approach the certain lecturer has presented that topic or the subject is something that they cannot flow very well. They may understand how to write it, but they'll be saying, if I write it this way, will I pass?
Okay.
Will it go in line with what this man is teaching?
Okay.
It's always very straightforward. Will I give him the best he's looking for? At that moment, that person is played off and will be unable to give the certain result.
Okay, thank you very much, Brother Odudu. Christ Ambassador, can you hear us now? Christ Ambassador Enoy, can you hear us now?
One.
Okay, so while we are still waiting for him to link up with us, now there is this Brother Eric. In fact, do you even subscribe to his response first and foremost?
Technically, that's nothing but the truth, because I want to say this. From the family down to the society, they have put in a lot of pressure into the educational system. Sending your child to the educational system is like an investment now in the country, and they believe you must perform tremendously.
Okay.
They believe you must perform tremendously. This is the pressure we have put ourselves in the society. As a student, you're coming from home, you know that if you fail, come back, definitely you're going to descend on him if you do not have that patience to see whether if the student understands. We should not pressure them, because the pressure is much in the educational system. What a lecturer wants, he wants to come to a class and see students who are brilliant, intelligent. Most of the lecturers nowadays do not do more work. Like, they do not do more work. Imagine you not teaching properly a student and you just give out handouts and so on and so forth and expect the student to deliver. As you said earlier, they have to be illustration. You have to take your time, painstaking to illustrate. Let's look at our father, for example. Our father is the supernatural teacher, like the #1 teacher. On a daily, we the children, we misbehave on a daily. We do not even practice this word, but our father has given us this patience, and he's still patient with us. He's still making us to understand the essence why we have to live a righteous life. So how much more just to acquire knowledge, and we are putting more pressure into examinations, evaluation. According to Odudu, trust. Yes, they have to be trust, because even in life too, you also have to undergo some tests, temptations for you to be promoted to the next class or thereabout. But they have to be a comfortable, enabling environment for us to get these things done. They have to be understanding, because so many students, I mean it, if they don't come to you, they are going through a lot. So many students are going through a lot on the aspects that they want to come out with flying colors to make sure that their family is happy with them and the society is happy with them.
Okay, beautiful. Now, Christ Ambassador, can you hear us now? Okay, so while we are still waiting for that, I think his network is very, very poor. Okay, now, Brother Eric, you have made a very vital point, and then you mentioned the father's his daily teachings.
Yeah.
He has taught us on the, in fact, he teaches us, he is
daily.
even still teaching us up to now.
All
Okay,
right,
thank you
thank
very
you.
much. Welcome back. Sorry for the poor network at your end. Okay, now the first question we had. Can you hear us?
Yes, I am.
Okay, our first question is, you have made a very vital point. And now there are times when students, this is very relatable even to, in fact, to every student, every Nigerian student. This is, there are times when we feel like, is this test or is this assignment even necessary? Is assessment even necessary? Is exams even necessary? Because of maybe the methods in which most of our lecturers, most of our teachers are using teaching us, their approaches at times make students to feel very uncomfortable when it comes to, most times when you see a teacher write mathematics on the board and there are students who naturally they hate mathematics, you just see them rejecting, you just see them becoming very uncomfortable, maybe because of the approach, being that maybe this lecturer or this teacher flux too much. If he or she asks a student a particular question and he or she is unable to respond to that question, you'll get lashes upon lashes. So because of that, students tend to have this natural, should I say, fear for mathematics. So in this case, how do we even arrest this situation? Brother Enekwe, you really do have to answer this question. If only your network can allow us. Can you hear us, Christ Ambassador?
Yes, I think a call was coming through my phone.
Okay, thank you very much. Now the question is, what are some strategies for reducing test anxiety and stress related to assessments? In cases where students don't just like assessment, they don't like examinations because they feel it's not necessary, or because they feel the lecturer involved is not their kind of person because of his or her approach or method of lecturing. So what would you say should be the strategies to put in place in order to relieve students of this test anxiety and stress related to assessment?
I was quite listening to Beric analyzing the situation and Godudu. Yeah, I know, it's a system that we're already used to. So the lecturers are also victims, both the students who are suffering, they are also victims, as well as the lecturers, because we have all been forged within the same system. And that's why it's just unfortunate that we're not in a system where our leaders pay attention to education. Education can actually change and transform a nation from being like a third world to a first world. An example is China. They've become so advanced that China is living 200 years ahead of us already. Where Nigeria is now is where China was trapped 200 years ago, 100 years ago, because we've refused to embrace education. And even when you see some ingenuine, these children exhibiting ingenuity in the society. For instance, we've seen children develop drones just by mere studying what others are doing. Not that they've been to a drone training school or they've been into robotics. They just create these things by themselves because of the gifts they carry. And by just studying how drones work and the aerodynamics of drones and the machine needed, they've created their own locally. But we don't pay attention to go back to help those children develop. Sometimes we just see them online, oh, wonderful, we just smile and just laugh and get excited about it. But we never see government call those young people. How did you develop this? Technology is very expensive. And the reason why technology is expensive is because you are not the one creating the technology. All of the systems we buy from outside is very expensive for us. That's why we spend so much trying to buy technology. And before you know, the next year, the country that technology originated from have created another version. So before you key into the next version, you're already going to spend more money as if you are buying a new one to upgrade. And so if you do that every year, you definitely run out of money. And that's why we are finding it very difficult to cope. Just like phones, iPhone will come this year, the next year. Those people who don't have sense will just be following the trend. I want to buy iPhone. I think before the end of the year, iPhone 17 will have come out. So because it's a technology, they own it, so they enjoy it. Now, when you bring it back to our education system now, we figure out that because we are not bringing it from within, that's the real meaning of education, coming from within. Nobody can teach you. Nobody should teach a human being because we are all spirit. spirit comes, they come fully loaded. But because we have not been able to figure out, or there's no supernatural element, or maybe parental upbringing, to bring out that inside of us out for us to become talented. So we end up releasing ourselves for other people. And those people may have been badly taught or even badly raised. Teaching itself is mentorship. Is mentorship. But there are very few teachers in Nigeria, maybe 1%, that actually mentor. The rest are just garbage in, garbage out. Whatever they've been given, that's what they come back to teach. So I've experienced teachers, even in my secondary school, who was teaching me geography. And because I already learned geography from a good school when I went, that year my chemistry was withheld. So I went to a local school to write chemistry. When I went there, a teacher could not teach map reading. It was very strange. So imagine the children in that school who are going to be writing exams, geography exams, don't know map reading. I had to be the one to make corrections to teach. I was like, Abba, so you can see what
we still have a lot of questions to ask you, because this topic is very, very broad. So we're still expecting that you join us, and then we talk about this particular topic more. Now let's talk about, is it back? Christ Ambassador in Ukraine, are you with us?
Ambassador, can you hear us? Okay, while we wait for him.
Okay, Brother Odudu, let's look at the types of assessments. We've talked about different things. We've talked about a whole lot of things. Now, at this point, let us look at the types of assessments of over time. We've always had different types of assessments. In fact, there are different forms of assessment or types of assessment, as the case may be. So let's hear from you. What do you think are the types of assessment?
Okay, thank you very much, and thank you to our renowned
educationist.
Yeah, a scholar. Yeah. What I want to say, types of assessment. We have formative assessment. We have diagnostic assessment. Yeah, on the part of diagnostic assessment, is used to identify students, their strengths and their weakness of beginning of a course and end of the course. Yeah, to understand if they are able to assimilate what they have been taught, if they are really carried along, if they are able to explain more beyond the classroom, beyond the classroom, what they have been inculcated. Like for instance, I am taught social science. I understand social science more than how I was taught because of the instances, the example that my lecturer brought. So types of assessment, critically on diagnostic assessment, that is the definition of that. And we have authentic assessment, that it mirrors down to real-world scenarios requiring students to apply knowledge and skills in practical ways. That is the little I can touch on types of assessment. Okay,
thank you very much. And then still to add to that, we have formative assessment. That it involves informal assessment used to monitor students' progress and inform instruction. We have summative assessment as well. It has to do with formal high-stakes assessment used to evaluate students' learning at the end of a unit or course. Now let's also look at challenges. There are different challenges and limitations to all of these things we've been talking about right from inception of this program. Now there are different things we should also consider as students and also as educators or as tutors or as teachers, as lecturers, whichever you want to call it. There are a lot of challenges and limitations that hinder students to even assimilate what lecturers teaches in class. There are, in fact, there are so much, they are enormous. So at this point in time, this question is for Brother David Eric. What do you think are the challenges and limitations to assessment and evaluations of students' capabilities or capacities in class?
Okay, I think we need to do proper practical test. Now, as I said earlier, the environment is very, very toxic. Now, most times we can have bias as one of the case study. Imagine you going to a class whereby the lecturer is biased and has this favoritism on a particular set of students, this can also affect the assessment. Understand? This can also affect the assessment when there's favoritism in the class. The subject matter can also affect the class. There's this mindset some students have gotten, or some children have gotten, that, do you know maths? Maths is very hard. So once you just build your mindset on that particular thing, because of the subjects, you lose interest, complete interest. So I think we also need to work on that particular aspect. Another aspect is authenticity and also largeness of the class. Now, we need to understand that if you look at a government school and a private school, you will see that a private school has maximum entries. It could have a maximum entries because a very large class cannot be covered by one person. Definitely there will be distractions. Students will be discussing. Less attention will be paid to the lecturer or to the teacher. So this can also act as one of the deficiencies to make sure that the student do not cooperate with the lecturer and also get things done. Also, affordability and cost can also be another thing. You know, nowadays they say quality education is money.
Okay.
All parents want to give their children the right education, the quality education, but due to financial constraint, this might also make them to stay away from giving that kind of education. So I think the financial stability also matters a lot in this aspect. So I think this is little I can go. One other one also is learning style. Learning style is very, very important. Learning style and clarity is very, very important. I think lecturers or teachers rather need to develop models for the student, as you earlier mentioned, need to develop models, see the best suitable model for a particular student. I think different models are meant for different students. Not all students can cooperate in a large class. When I was in school, in primary school, my teacher had to group us into 3-4, and she saw that we did very well when we were 3-4 in classwork. So it also matters. I think learning style has to also change. We should not be adaptive to just one particular style. We can also go diverse ways and try to see how we can engage with the student and also with the family. Definitely, most of those limitations can be taken care of.
Okay, beautiful brother. Odu, did you have something different to add?
Yeah, I just want to add one.
Okay.
Tax anxiety.
Okay.
Yeah, high tax assessment can cause significant stress and anxiety for students.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah.
I also have something very important to add, and that has to do with overemphasis on standardization. I believe that most times we are taught, or most students learn for exams and not to know.
True.
And it's over time, when you're done with that, maybe 4 to 5 years study in school, and then you're out, you're being given a simple practical test on your field of study, you're unable to show what you have learned over the years. That is because you were studying only for the exams. You know, you were not studying to assimilate it, so that when you go out of the 4 walls of the tertiary institution or secondary school, as the case may be, you can prove to the world that, yes, I spent 4 years, I spent 5 years, I spent 6 years, as the case may be, and this is what I can show for it. So I feel that this, I don't know if we should attribute it to the students or to the lecturers or teachers.
It has to go everybody.
Okay.
Everybody. There's a pressure. Mostly pressure is mounted on the student. It's also coming from, as I said earlier, it's also coming from the family and also from the environment where they find themselves. Because a student, your responsibility, this is like an investment. As they're investing in you from the family, they want you to come out with flying colors. And also the lecturers want to get to see good students. So now you are given a mandate that you must deliver at every particular point in time. So this is the pressure. The lecturers nowadays, I would say most of them do not really take their time to say they want to train up pupils that will represent them at the secondary school level and students that represent them at the lecturer level. Most students nowadays do not even find pleasure to say, I want to become a lecturer. You can imagine that. If you go around asking little ones their career, what you want to be, you will not see most persons saying they want to become a lecturer. I think because of the too much emphasis on making it that they want to have a good grade, they want to have a good grade. So this has done more harm than good to our educational system. As Brian Oyekwena rightly said, I think the manner of approach, this is a problem. When we just fine-tune it a little bit, we'll definitely get what we want.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful.
But I want to give kudos to some lecturers who have
of course
stand out. I would love to use the word perfect to transform so many students. There are so many students today who are doing well that I would say, if not because of this, my lecturer. Because when they are teaching, they use lifestyle to teach, and you understand. So there are so many lecturers that have done that. So I give kudos to them, and others who are, say, in the line to do that. They should see to that part and make academic world great, because that is where you can acquire anything you want in life. Yeah, so kudos to them.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, kudos to all of those teachers and lecturers out there who painstakingly in quotes, go through all of those processes and make sure their classroom, they have an enabling environment for their students. They make sure they are friends with almost everyone in class, just so that every student to be comfortable when they find themselves in class, when they find themselves with a particular lecturer who is teaching a particular subject or a particular course, as the case may be. Students to be very, very comfortable to assimilate every bit of what they are passing out to the students that day. So kudos to every teacher or every lecturer out there. And then to everybody who is aspiring to be called a teacher or a lecturer, as the case may be. It is a very beautiful thing. It's a very beautiful thing, because there's one thing about knowledge. If you know something and you do not impact, then it means you've not learned anything, you know. So kudos to everyone out there. And do not forget, it is still the week of Association of Brotherhood Academy Scholars, ABAS, also in collaboration with Education Fellowship Week here in Brotherhood of the Cross and Star. So please stay glued as we bring to you more interesting segments. Do not go nowhere. Morning Star still continues to be back.
BCS music. Tell me, brother, tell me why you the cry, why you there? Tell me sister, tell me why you the love, when you get Olumba by your side, when you get the mighty for your front. His eyes are not blind, and he cannot see your tears. Ebezina wande chigino so chigine cheregi oyene bakwe bezina na chigino so ebezina chugino so chidalumba loves you, he has conquered for you. Ebezina chugino so chidalumba loves you, he has conquered for you.
Ebezina, mama don't cry again. Since you get Olumba, I got no the fear. All your problems and sorrows, Papa don't take them away. Can we no get filled? Now God they drive and fly. He gonna light a fire. If you no deny him, make you know they tire to work for Olumba. Put your trust in him. no other God. Nothing man can do to you, just trust in Olumba. The Egyptians you see today, you shall see them no more. That Pharaoh in your life shall not cross the Red Sea today. Every obstructing walls of Jericho in your life shall fall down. Cause you belong to the Lion and the Lamb. Making all the worry, Papa day. Okay, making all the worry, Olumba day. The love of Olumba cannot be compared. The love of your father for you is so kakaraka. Yeah, see, anytime he call, he go answer. In the dreaded night, he go show up. When the sea is rough, he go calm him. When the road is lonely, he's your companion. He will never disappoint you. I say, oh, Chukunanso. Hey, Bezina. Hey, Bezina. Hey, Bezina. Oh, he has spoken for you. Hey, Bezina. Chukunanso. He has spoken for you.
Why you the worry, brother? Why you the lament sister? When you get all them by your side day and night, when you get the mighty King by your side,
I'll never be afraid, brother. I'll never run at all. Cause I am a father of fathers, that answers by fire. It's calling down Olumba. Even in the darkest night, he always shine for this light so bright. Therefore, all enemies will never target me again. Never. He has spoken for you. It is not you could not so. He has spoken for you.
BCS music. Tell me, brother. Tell me why you the cry. Tell me sister. Tell me why you the love. When you get Olumba by your side, when you get the mighty for your front. His eyes are not blind. Daddy cannot see your tears. His ears are not deaf. Daddy cannot hear your cry. Just be patient. He'll lead out on Mamba, and he will surely answer you. Oba kwe bezina na chigi nonso.
onye na-ebakwa ebe si na anọchi gị n'ọzọ mgbe niile n'ụtụtụ n'ehihie ma n'abalị chi gị nọnyere gị na-echekwaba gị atụmatụ ndị iro na ndụ gị agaghị enwe isi onye nwe gị ga-enye gị ndị mmụọ ozi ka ha chere gị ebezina nwanne ebezina nwanne chi gị nọ nso chi gị na-echere gị onye na-ebakwa ebezina na chi gị nọ nso ebezina Chukwu nọ nso Chidalumba loves you he has conquered for you ebezina Chukwu nọ nso Chidalumba loves you he has conquered for you
Hey, Bezina, mama don't cry again. Since you get Olumba, I got no defense. All your problems and sorrows, Papa don't take them away. Can't we no get filled? Now God be driving fire. Him go light your fire. If you no deny him, make you know they tire to work for Olumba. Put your trust in him. You have no other God. Nothing man can do to you, just trust in Olumba. The Egyptians you see today, you shall see them no more. That Pharaoh in your life shall not cross the Red Sea today. Every obstructing walls of Jericho in your life shall fall down. Cause you belong to the Lion and the Lamb.
Bezina, Jukunanso, Jukunanso, making all the worry, Papa day. Okay, making all the worry, Olumba day. The love of Olumba cannot be compared. The love of your father for you is so kakaraka. Yeah, see, anytime he call, he go answer. In the dreaded night, he go show up. When the sea is rough, he go calm him. When the road is lonely, he's your companion. He will never disappoint you. I say, oh, Jukunanso, Ebezina, Ebezina, Ebezina. Oh, he has conquered for you. Ebezina, Jukunanso. Chidalumba loves you, he has conquered for you.
Why you the worry, brother? Why you the lament sister? When you get Olumba by your side day and night, when you get the mighty King by your side,
I'll never be afraid, brother. I'll never run at all. Cause I am a father of fathers, that answers by fire. It's calling down Olumba. Even in the darkest night, he always shine for this light so bright.
It's good to know that you are still watching the Morning Star Breakfast show on Star Cross Television. Welcome back. I remain Stella Tabot, and I'm still here with Brother Odudu Charles and Brother David Eric. Welcome back.
Thank you so much. Lady in our midst.
Thank you very much. That was an interesting segment with Brother or Christ Ambassador Eno Ikwen. Thank you very much for your time this morning. And then up next is Christ Ambassador James Mensah. It's going to be a carryover discussion from what we discussed last week on technology. Peace of the Father, Christ Ambassador.
Father, how are you? And now with everybody in the studio.
Good morning, Ambassador from this side. Morning, Ambassador from this side.
I'm doing very well. How are you doing yourself?
We thank the Father. We're waking up again on a Friday, and it's a beautiful Friday. We can't thank the Father enough. And also, we send our greetings to all our soldiers who are watching, both on YouTube on DTH in their homes and everywhere they can find themselves.
Okay, thank you very much, Christ Ambassador. Quickly, this is going to be a carryover discussion because last week we promised that we're going to bring back our topic of discuss last week over to this week since we're unable to round it up. So let's hear from you on technology.
Okay, so last week, so before we go on, I just wanted to just mention for our viewers, for the creatives, for people who are really in the creative space and who also are content creators. You can go and check out some of the Google AI tools. They are very, very good for creatives. You can look out for Google Imaging, spelled IMAGEN, Google Imaging. It's very, very good for creatives. If you're creative and you want to expand your creativity, you can get things like text to image for those who can't really go into editing of pictures and you have ideas of things you want to create that you don't know how to go about it. You can use Google Imaging to try. You can just type everything and then it will create whatever you want it to create for you. Subsequently, we can even discuss on how after it has finished creating, you can go back and then the images that have been created by the AI, you can actually go and change your face. You shouldn't only depend on Photoshop and CorelDRAW and Adobe Illustrator and the rest. You can actually go and change the face and then put your own face and then it will look like the original. So last week we were talking about how far the changes WhatsApp is trying to make, where moving forward, for those who actually go and check people's status and the rest, moving forward you will start seeing adverts and the rest. And it was bringing us to what we term or what business people term as a bait and switch phenomenon. And the bait and switch phenomenon is what most of these friendly technologies that we've used so far. For example, you ask yourself a question: I'm using WhatsApp for this long. Somebody created WhatsApp. How are they generating money, or how are they generating money? I laugh at people when we allow, especially motivation speakers, to tell us, oh, somebody started Facebook from their kitchen. Somebody started something from their bedroom, and so on and so forth. It all boils down to the bait and switch phenomenon, because when you look at a platform like WhatsApp, it's been in existence, like we said last week, for over 12 years. So far, it has over 2 billion users. And yet, you ask yourself, how do they maintain their servers and the rest? That is where the bait and switch phenomenon comes in. It's a phenomenon where business people use to really, like for example, when you go to the shopping malls and you sometimes you go for window shopping and then you see one beautiful, what is it called? One beautiful item that you want by the window while you are passing or by the show glass. It is written, for want of a better experience, it is written maybe 1,000 naira, for example. You say, oh, this clothes is very, very cheap. And when you get into the shop, you now realize, oh, okay, that 1,000 naira is actually for the scarf of the clothes. And then you are now forced to start looking at the complete product, the complete package, and you are forced to spend even money that you didn't have. That is why I keep telling people, if you go to buy, or if anybody pitch a product to you and they tell you that product is free, actually they are pitching a service to you. You are actually the product. You are actually the product. So if we want to go deep into it, we say for WhatsApp, we have been the product for WhatsApp, and WhatsApp have been the service. The product in the sense that there was no advert anywhere. We had actually been the advertisers of WhatsApp for the longest time. And so they have been able to reach their target market enough. And now it is time for them to start making money. Meaning that even when it started, there was a time when the people who started it had voted money. Pending when money will start coming in, pending when advertisers will show interest, pending when people will come in and say you want to advertise. Like if you open your Yahoo Mail right now, you can notice that before now, Yahoo Mail was very, very empty. But if you open Yahoo Mail, you realize it's not even just Yahoo Mail, even with Gmail. You realize that there are tiny adverts you see in the Gmail. There are tiny adverts you see there. Those are always a means for them to make money. But for YouTube, for WhatsApp, it really helped us to, gather ourselves, gain momentum. Don't be surprised if you look at Android and WhatsApp becomes a paid service. Don't be surprised, because now 90% of men and women living in this world today, 90% of our millennials can't live without WhatsApp. 90% of us can't live without WhatsApp, because everything is now being transacted. Every transactions are now on WhatsApp. You find a situation where now you can even send large files on WhatsApp. Before now, it wasn't like that. So you now ask yourself a question: why did other platforms like your Mixit, your what's it called, High Five, and the rest, for those of us who know most of these platforms, why did they come in and then they fizzled away? They fizzled away because there was no proper plan, there was no proper structure. Because if there's somebody has developed a platform from the back of his boots, and so you feel like, oh, okay, business is just like that, you can just wake up and start. So technology is evolving, WhatsApp has come to stay, and I think for so many of us who don't look at people's, status and the rest, we are safe. But for the millennials who are used to looking at people's status and who are used to checking those online and those not online, I think this is the time for you to pay a little price and for WhatsApp to make good money off your checking of people's status and the rest. So I think this is one thing we ought to, we ought to get ourselves abreast with. And like we said, don't be surprised you wake up one early morning and WhatsApp now becomes a paid service, because now everybody is living off WhatsApp. Everybody is transacting business on WhatsApp. In this day and age, even now, you can have one WhatsApp installed on your phone and have so many accounts on that same particular WhatsApp. Before now, it wasn't so. Before now, you could only send something of 50 kilobytes, 100 kilobytes, but now you can have WhatsApp. I'm not talking about having WhatsApp and WhatsApp business on one phone, but having just your normal WhatsApp, but you could create as many as 10 different, you can use as many as 10 different mobile numbers to create different accounts on the same WhatsApp and use it for any purpose you want to use it for. I just hope and pray that we as human beings who know how to use these things, we don't